Hi folks, Bob Collins for Diver Supply. Now in this video, which is going to be video number 4, and I appreciate the viewer that went in, sent me a note and said, hey, I seem to be missing video number 2. The battle video, the first one, was video number 1 of 7. Now we've got video 2 done, video 3 done, and this is video 4 of 7. And this video is going to be about the MARES Prestige BCD. The MARES Prestige has got some very interesting features that you may not really recognize on some of the other BCs, but on one or two, there are some similars. So again, just like I've been doing in all the BC videos, is I'm gonna start up here at the top. I'm gonna work my way down and show you the differences. We're gonna flip it over on the back and take a look back there. So stick with me. Now what I've got here is the She Dives version. They have the same features, it's just really the colors that are different on these two BCs. Now when we come up here on the top and take a look, I'm going to start up here. We've got our right shoulder pulled up, as you can see, and I've talked about it on some of the other videos. We have a round curtain knob or right shoulder dump knob. And this one's kind of neat because, yeah, it's open and it's got some open slots in here. So it gives a little bit more texture. It's not totally smooth, so it gives you some resistance if you're going to be pulling on that particular dump. Up here, there's a place to connect a strap cutter, which is kind of nice. The shoulder pads on this unit, these are pretty nice. They're nice and wide, and there's actually some padding in here. Now, on some of the other ones, when we looked at the neck up here, we saw some padding, like neoprene roll padding up here. This one has no roll padding on it. We're going to come down here. We've got a pre-bent metal D-ring here, and we've got a pre-bent metal D-ring over here. You want to make a note about this. This is an important feature, that you do have a D-ring over here on the left. What I'm talking about is your gauge console. If you've got a leash on it and you hang it from here instead of down here, then it is here positioned for you to look at it, easier than if you're trying to grab it down here and pull it up to look. So this is a benefit to have here. We've got our chest strap. This chest strap is adjustable in length, but it does not move up or down, and it's in a fixed position like what you've seen on some of the other BCs. Now, right here, I want to point out something very important. There's a small little metal D-ring right here. This is a great place to attach your octo, your yellow hosed octo right here, because like I've said in some of the other videos, if this D-ring is directly underneath this curtain knob, then the second stage might cover this part, whereas if it's here, it's not blocking you being able to get a hold of that right shoulder dump. Well, if you look at this adjuster here and shoulder release, it utilizes the quick pinch shoulder release, but let me get my hand in here. One of the things I want to point out, and I'll try to get a close-up here, is I talk about this being able to swivel and not just move or be adaptable to positioning based on the way it's connected on the piece of nylon strapping here. This is one of the only ones that has the ability to swivel See how that turns? Some of the Aqua lung ones and some of the others out there, you can push a button, but that button push releases, whereas sometimes you're going to find it better for a pinch release and the ability for this to swivel. Now, one of the other things that I talked about is you're not going to see an angle turn on this shoulder strap. This shoulder strap pretty much just comes straight down. It's all about the design that the company wanted to do. And this really works out really well to do this way. So we come down, we got our shoulder adjuster here. We come on down here to our bolster. And first thing we're going to look at is the zipper pocket. The zipper pocket's got a heavy gauge zipper. It's got 2 zipper closures. So if it's back here, you could reach down here and close. It also has an angle so that if it's unzipped, it's a little easier to get your hand in here from different angles, which is really nice. Now this pocket is deep, but it's not as deep as some, but it is deeper than others. So it's kind of, I'm just going to call it the best of both worlds. And I kind of like this design on these. One of the other things we have is we've got our octo pocket right here, which is super nice. Now we're not seeing a connector here. Like some of these will have a D-ring right here, and that is a lot of times where people will connect their octos here on an octo keeper, but we don't have one, so what they're counting on is you using either the octo pocket or connecting it up here with a octo keeper. We come down here on the bottom. Toward the back, we've got a D-ring back here, and what's cool is toward the front, we've also got a smaller D-ring up here, which is nice because you would possibly keep something back here, like maybe an SMB, which is more out of the way, and maybe you attach your camera up here or something along those lines that is a little handier when you're in your neutral buoyancy position. Weight pockets, we've got the pinch style removable weight pockets that come out. These are 10-pound weight pockets, and they've got the clip on them, and it's got that positive locking ability. So when you lock it, I'm going to bend down, hear that snap. You can hear that underwater, like I've said before. One of the other things that I'm going to point out, you see this little ring right here? Not very many BCs have this ring here, and what it's for is if you're wearing this and you go to put your weight pocket back in, you reach with your other hand and hook it on the D-ring. It makes it easier to push instead of just pushing this back so it moves. You've got the ability to hook your fingers in here and push your weight pocket in. And that's on both sides. Now, when we look back here in the back, we've got this nice handle. There's a pretty big plastic back plate in here. We've got a nice pad on here. And I really like the way that the belly buckle and the cummerbund is attached in here. If you start looking at these and you go to a shop and you're looking at this, there's a strap here and a strap here, and what that does, it keeps the cummerbund from pulling out and getting stuck behind you. This is really good, thoughtful construction on this particular BC. Over here we got pretty much our same situation. We've got our corrugated hose. We've got a fairly decent inflator-deflator here. So again, finger on top to deflate, finger on the side. And like I've showed you in the other videos, is the oral mouthpiece on this inflator is kind of in the middle of sizes. It's not too little, but it's not this big giant mouthpiece stuck out there. So you can see it's actually a fairly nice size. This is a left shoulder pull dump, which is really nice to have on this. And while we're looking over here, a feature you'll see on the Prestige that you may see on some, but not on some of these BCs, and that's these grommets that you see right here. You can connect a small knife on here, and it makes it a very handy spot to attach that knife. And the knife could be one that has a line cutter in it. It could be a straight, it could be a blunt knife, that sort of thing. But it's nice to have these grommets already built on if you want that. So really a good looking piece. Let's flip it around and look at the back. Now we're up here and we see our left shoulder pull dump. There's a little vent right there. It's not a big hulking vent. It's nice and streamlined, which again, I personally really like. We've got our right shoulder dump here, low profile. We come on down, again, you see there's no padding, roll padding, neoprene piece on here around your neck. It's not that big a deal, but it is a little bit of a deal. We've got our valve strap right here. It's not quick disconnect, which is again not a biggie, but sometimes those quick disconnects on the valve straps just make swapping your tanks over a little easier. We've got a single tank strap. There is a slot right here to add another tank strap, but that would put these two tank straps very close together. I think that's a bit much. So we've got our trim pockets. It actually says trim weight right there. This has got the buckle on it, which I really like. I'd rather have just a buckle than just Velcro. I'm not a big fan of a zipper right here, but this is pretty big pocket, pretty easy to get that big 5-pound weight that I showed you before. It would go in here pretty easy, and I even think the softy weight would fit in here. We've got a friction pad on the tank strap, which is nice, and it's a plastic cam, not a stainless cam. Most all of these BCs have the plastic cam style on that tank strap. Come down here, we've got a butt dump. This one kind of fits in the middle of the pricing realm, and I think is a pretty darn good value. So again, if you haven't hit the subscription button, reach down there and hit it now. Love to have your comments. As I've said before, be safe out there. See you again soon. Thanks a lot.